And I had found these old stamps in a garbage can.
What an incredible thing to find in the trash, my friend, because these stamps are 150 years old and they aren't even actually postage stamps. These stamps were produced by private companies that provided delivery services, much like FedEx or DHL would today, which is why they don't have a country name on them like most stamps. Instead, they have the name of the company that produced them, names like Boutons or Hussies, Pomeroys, or even Carnes. These types of stamps are known as local or carrier stamps, and they were produced primarily in the 1840s through the 1860s. And because many of them were produced by small companies, they can be very, very rare and also very, very expensive if you find the right ones. But they are also extensively forged and reprinted, many of which were done by the man that owned this local right here, Hussey's. Hussey was one of a number of people that figured out that stamp collectors really liked these local and carrier stamps, and he was reprinting and forging these stamps right along the same time that they were actually being issued, and many of these forgeries are 150 years old. Let's take this Boutons Rough and Ready stamp as an example. Here's a genuine example actually used on cover. Here are some examples of the Hussey reprints that were done many years after this company had already gone out of business. Here's an example of that Bouton stamp as it was forged by a man named Scott, who actually was the founder of the catalog that is most commonly used in American stamp collecting today, the Scott's Catalog. Here's another set of forgeries that were done by a man named Sterling, and also you have all of these incredible modern forgeries that come in a variety of colors and conditions. And sometimes these forgers would actually just make up companies to issue stamps for, like this Hackett's Post right here, which never actually existed as a company, but was instead forged by a number of different forgers and sold to stamp collectors. And because all of this forging and reprinting went on 150 years ago, and the stamps have all of this vintage to them, it can be very tough if you're not a trained expert to tell the difference between a genuine stamp, a forged stamp, or a reprinted stamp. And it's very common among collectors that unless a local or carrier stamp comes with an expertization certificate, it has to be assumed to either be forged or reprinted. But that doesn't mean that these forgeries and reprints don't have any value. I was actually kind of surprised when I went on eBay and started poking around to find that they often sell anywhere between the $5 to $20 range, although most of these listings don't disclose that they are probably either forgeries or reprints. But they are still very old stamps, and some of them might be genuine like this Hussey's that I showed you earlier, and I would say your entire collection here is worth probably right around $50 to $100. I hope this helps.